Welcome to El Camino College Center for the Arts. At this time, we ask that you silence all communication devices and refrain from texting during the performance. We would also like to remind you that the taking of photographs and the use of recording devices is strictly prohibited. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the performance.
Welcome to our Diamond Jubilee Celebration concert. It is wonderful to have you all here, and it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you President Brenda Timms, who is the president of El Camino College.
Good evening. I am Dr. Brenda Timms, and it is truly an honor and a privilege to serve here as the president at El Camino College. When I arrived here about 10 months ago, one of our primary objectives was to get back on campus, get back to teaching and learning, and to figure out how we could get back to partnering with our community. And the amazing team here said we can do that. And tonight we are here celebrating 75 years of excellence in person with our community and with our students and our alumni. So I cannot thank this campus enough for being focused and dedicated enough to do this work. It looks like a lot, but I promise you it's not, because we are in the middle of 2 full weeks of student celebrations, because we are also, next Friday, going to celebrate our commencement in person for the first time in 2 years. So they are wearing me out with parties and celebrations. So tonight I have 2 jobs, to welcome you, but many of you in this room are part of the El Camino family, so I will not welcome you. What we do is we cherish and celebrate time together when we are able to gather with family. So we cherish and celebrate the time we have with you tonight. If this is your first time with us, I will tell you that this is your community college and you always have a place here. So you do not need a welcome. We just say it's good to see you and we hope to see you again soon. We are pleased to have you here to share your Friday evening with us, and as we get ready to enjoy the musical talents of our student and our alumni. So I want to acknowledge some very special guests that have joined us. Senator Steve Bradford, who is a distinguished El Camino alumnus, is here representing the 35th District in Inglewood. Senator Bradford. Another distinguished alumnus, Torrance Mayor Pat Fury and his lovely wife Terry are also here with us. I want to give a special welcome to Gardena City Council members Paulette Francis and Mark Henderson. Torrance City Council members George Chin and Heidi Ann Ashcroft. Lawndale City Council member Shirley Cuevas. Torrance High School Assistant Principals Paul Nataki and Mark Roulette. And Hannah Parrish of the Centinela Valley Union High School District is also joining us this evening. We are also pleased to have Los Angeles Community College District Trustee Michelle Henderson. And now I want to acknowledge our own Board of Trustees. Trustee Nilo Michelin, Trustee Kim Brown, Trustee Kathy Mashler, Trustee Tricia Mirakara, and Trustee Cliff Newmark. I also want to wish a special welcome and a welcome home greeting to past Superintendent President of El Camino Community College, Mr. Thomas Fowler. A night like this doesn't happen just because we have these amazing, talented individuals here on the stage. There are a lot of folks behind the scenes that really make this look good. I want to thank our ticket office staff, our front of the house staff and ushers, our stage and backstage crew, and the El Camino Center of the Arts managers, Barbara Reiser, Jerry Root, Norman Foster. Norman is up there in the balcony, and I'm telling you, Norman's one of the hardest working guys at El Camino. He comes to everything to make sure that we have the appropriate media, so thank you, Norman. Raymond Simon is our production manager, and Rick Christopherson is our director of the Center of the Arts. So I am coming to the end here. I want to give a special thanks to our special guest conductor and El Camino alumnus, Mr. David Benoit, for headlining tonight's performance. And last but not least, thank you to Ms. Joanna Natchef for putting this entire production together. She has prepared things that promise to be an amazing experience tonight, and I'm excited to hear and see what she has in store for us. And if you all know Joanna, you'll be sitting on the edge of your seat. So let's get on with the show. Thank you for coming, and please come again.
Allow me to bring up Senator Stephen Bradford of the 31st District just to say a couple of words. Please, come on up. Distinguished alumnus, isn't that amazing? We welcome you.
Good evening. Good evening. This is truly a joyous occasion, and I'm honored to be here. And it's an honor to be here in the 35th Senate District, but more importantly, to celebrate the 75th anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee concert. So give ourselves a round of applause for being here for this amazing evening. I want to thank President King for this invitation to join you for this special celebration. And the theme of this year's celebration, Shining Through the Years, is a testament of El Camino's heritage and commitment to a tradition of excellence, both in the scholarship and in art. El Camino has been a pathway for excellence for over 75 years here in this community, helping folks find their careers, and like I say, in academics, in sports, in medicine, you name it, as well as music. And as a music enthusiast, an individual who grew up playing in an orchestra similar to this, but not as well, and a father who owned a series of record shops as a kid, I grew up with music in our household, and I'm honored to be the chair and the founder of the Gardena Jazz Festival, which we will celebrate 20 years this year. So I think music has always been the pathway and that connective tissue for a lot of students to keep them engaged in school and growing, and it's an international language that we all can relate to. So again, thank you for having me here this evening, and I look forward to the amazing performance here tonight by your being conducted by your former alumni, David Benoit, and I look forward to future celebrations in our continued partnership here with El Camino College. Thank you.
And now, another distinguished alumnus, the wonderful, my friend, an amazing leader, Mayor of Torrance, the city of Torrance. This is Mayor Patrick Fury, everyone.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Dr. Natchef, for inviting us to be here this evening. On behalf of myself and my colleagues on the Torrance City Council, I am honored to be here in celebration of El Camino College's 75th anniversary Diamond Jubilee Celebration Concert. Returning to my alma mater in the presence of these talented musicians, esteemed alumni, faculty, and staff is truly an honor for me. This year's concert pays tribute to the college's 75th musical heritage, showcasing joyful reunions, community collaboration, and the tradition of excellence. I'd like to commend these students, musicians, artists, and everyone involved for your dedication in bringing this concert to life, whether you're working towards building a professional music career or performing just to express yourself creatively. Thanks to each of you, you have brought a lot of joy to people tonight. Live music concerts soothe the soul, but it speaks a universal language. It speaks to something deep within our humanity. It brings people together. Just look at this room tonight. We have people of all ages, cultures, and backgrounds. It's truly a beautiful sight. Now, leading up to this concert, students had the opportunity to take part in workshops and receive instructions from music industry professionals. Students got firsthand career insights and gained performance techniques to enhance their knowledge and skill sets. These are some of the wonderful benefits of being a student here at El Camino College. Let's give the college a round of applause. As was mentioned, headlining the anniversary concert tonight is renowned, Grammy-nominated pianist, composer, and El Camino College alumni, David Benoit. If you've never heard Mr. Benoit, you are in for an absolute treat. He will conduct his own composition titled Soul to Soul. That's East meets West. Soul meaning S-O-U-L, and soul meaning S-E-O-U-L. A time for hope. But that's not all. There's an impressive lineup of accomplished alumni, soloists as well. And thanks to Dr. Joanna Medwar-Nashif's leadership and brilliance as the director of choral and orchestral activities at El Camino College, I have no doubt we are in for a real great treat tonight. So I ask you all to sit back and enjoy tonight's concert, featuring the sounds of El Camino's Symphonic Orchestra, Chorale, Concert Choir, and Women's Chorus, in addition to the Torrance Civic Chorale and the Joanna Medwar-Nashif Singers. You are in for a big, big treat. Thank you all for being here.
Our second piece. How did you like the first one? Right? Let me tell you why I chose that. It was the 50th anniversary concert where I was just hired as the choral director at El Camino, 1996 when I was hired. In 97 that spring, we did the whole Carmina Burana. I prepared the choirs, and Jim Mack was in charge of the orchestral activities here, and we prepared that for our big celebration. And I tell you, to be reminiscing and thinking back 25 years. But now, we get to celebrate what they're celebrating across the ocean. You all have been watching that Platinum Jubilee of the Queen Elizabeth. Well, Handel had prepared to celebrate King George I with water music. They were on barges, went down the Thames, and played music, and he asked them to keep repeating it and repeating it for 3 hours. Imagine what these musicians had to endure. But tonight, we get to start with the hornpipe from the water music, and we are gonna really continue the celebration. And in a way, this is a gift that I'm giving my husband, because I walked down the aisle 35 years ago at the Crystal Cathedral to this music. So honey, will you stand up? I can't walk to you. excited to acknowledge the horn section. Please stand. Yes. Imagine being on that barge and playing this 300 times for 3 hours. George I was very upset that his son, who had become more popular, George II, so he decided to make this big celebration. Boats and people were all over, and he just decided he's going to take his sweet time and make Handel, hire a huge orchestra and do that on a barge. But thank God we don't have to be on water. And we don't have to repeat it 300 times. Well, now we go on to Bernstein and the Candide Overture. How many of you like that? Yes? Powerful? Well, you know, in '56 it was the premiere on Broadway. 75 times they presented it, and to that number, it wasn't such a success. But later in 1974, when Sondheim added some words, it became quite a long run, and it is a piece that is set on Voltaire's Candide. Optimism. Optimism, and you can tell when we hear these melodies, such beautiful and witty tunes. And one of them is Glitter and Be Gay. She says, if I am not pure, at least my jewels are. I hope you don't think that of me, because my family, you know the Menowars, my father is right there and my mother next to him, they're in the jewelry business. No, these are fake, but I am pure. Thank you. just going to take a few minutes to reset the stage here, because we're going to bring the grand 9-foot piano out to feature one of our own advanced piano applied students, Ishun Ko. You may have a few minutes to look through the program, maybe tonight, later, but you will find that we have an amazing applied program where these students receive private instruction on their instrument, whether it is a piano, trumpet, violin, or any of the vocalists. We actually have a jazz program as well. So our students take some excellent instruction. And I wanted tonight not only to bring out the alumni, but also our current students. So we have for you this beautiful first movement of Beethoven's Concerto. How many of you are really familiar with that name, Beethoven? Did you know that when he met Mozart and he played for him, Mozart said, oh, okay. But then Beethoven turned to him, he was 13, and said, oh, give me just a melody and I want to improvise for you. And he did. And Mozart said, look out for this kid. Keep an eye on this man. These are the words of Mozart. Someday, he'll give the world something to talk about. Has Beethoven done that? The genius of Mozart and the giant, impressive repertoire that Beethoven left us. But you all know that Beethoven struggled from something very painful. He was losing his hearing by his age 30. It was all gone. And he wasn't satisfied with the pianos at the time, so he turned to a British ship maker and piano maker and said, you gotta give me more depth in the piano. So they would send these pianos to his apartments in Vienna. What would he do? Take the legs off, put it on the floor, and bang on it throughout the night. Do you think that was very well received by the neighbors? He was evicted and moved 80 times in Vienna, 8-0. If you ever go, Beethoven lived here, Beethoven lived here. I got the good chance to go see some of these places, and he really was almost losing hope because he was a concert pianist. And then with his loss of hearing, that acute sense that needs to be more special in a musician, he turned to composition. And the story will continue when we get to the last piece in this program, and that will be the 9th. So now, welcome Ishun Ko at the piano. instructors, the professors who equip our students, is our amazing applied piano teacher and one of our piano instructors. Lois Roberts, are you in the house? Yes? And Dr. Lieblich, thank you both for equipping our students like machines, right? And now, we're going to bring our headliner out to conduct his own composition, our most distinguished alumnus, who has made such an impressive career as a jazz artist. Everybody has heard the name of David Benoit, right? Around the world. You know, 4 decades, Grammy-nominated pianist, composer, arranger, conductor. You name it, he can do it. How many of you listen to him on his morning radio show, KKJZ 88.1 FM? So he really curates a beautiful radio show. But if you take a moment and read these 2 pages and see his impressive accomplishments and his investment in the lives of the young artists with his Asian American Youth Orchestra and all that he's done with them, taking them out to South Korea and creating this piece, Soul to Soul, S-E-O-U-L, a time for hope, East meets West. And I thought it would be wonderful for us to hear him conduct his piece that we definitely can relate to, because this is a time that we need most hope. Do you agree with me? Help me welcome the incomparable David Benoit. the prize, he is coming up to introduce a very special guest conductor now. And I think all of us are delighted to have him back among us. Dr. Price, Dean of Fine Arts.
Thank you, Dr. Natchev. We really appreciate all of your work in putting this together. In fact, I won't say, I haven't told anybody this really outside of the closed rooms, but about 3 weeks ago, we weren't sure if this was going to happen because we hadn't secured all the funding. And she really wanted to push for it. And as you can see, when she wants to do something and has the resources of our students, it really works. And so I'm very impressed with this conference. Thank you. I'm here to actually introduce Dr. Dane Teeter. Anybody who's been around El Camino for the past 30 years or so knows who he is. He's conducted our orchestras and concert band for the last, until he retired last year, for about 30 years, no, okay, 23 years. And he also served as coordinator of our applied music program, taught beginning and advanced woodwind and brass instruments, instrumental chamber ensembles, did a whole lot of stuff while he was here. He's actually a consummate woodwind specialist, playing all the members of the woodwind family, and he's performed with numerous orchestras, concert bands, jazz groups, many pit orchestras for musicals and operas. He's also performed many numerous artist-in-residence recitals here at El Camino College. Had the privilege to perform with him several times in my 5 years here as dean, and he's a wonderful performer and a great all-around guy. As one of the things he's done, he's premiered many compositions by living composers and also many of our students. He's featured music of our faculty members, Dr. Patrick Schultz, our theory professor, and others. And for about 20 years, he's been working with WGS Music, which is the music of William Grant Still. And he's completed more than 80 scores and conducted a performance of more than 2 dozen of the works. This is pretty amazing. Dane has left a pretty profound legacy on El Camino College through his dedication to both our music program and the college as a whole. His membership of many, many students will continue to influence music making in the South Bay and beyond for many years. Personally, I consider him a friend, and I'm grateful for his lack of ego, his professionalism, for inviting me to perform with his groups, and for just the way that he has mentored the program through the pandemic, where they met on Zoom. Imagine that, till now. 1 year ago, Zoom, now in person, amazing. And welcome back to the stage, Dr. Teeter. This is sort of the farewell concert that we were not able to have last spring. We really appreciate you. You're a wonderful mentor and man and conductor, and I'll turn the time over to him. Dr. Teeter.
Just a little word. I first need to thank Dr. Natchev for inviting me to be part of this. We worked together many times over my 23 years of full-time teaching, 5 before that. And it's a pleasure to be back. And many of these were my students when I was here. And she's very careful. She checks the resumes very thoroughly. That's why I got to do this piece. Mr. Sinatra and I were both given the same first name at birth. Neither one of us went by that as our professional name, but that's part of it. And I have the blue eyes, and I'm old, so that works too. This medley includes 4 of his best known pieces, not the best, but 4 of them. Starting with I've Got You Under My Skin, followed by Strangers in the Night. For those who use the other lyrics, Green Bugs in My Soup, that works too. Then That's Life, and finally, The Lady is a Tramp. Anyone who's around here? The quintessential Sinatra tune that's not in here is the motto which I'm going to adopt, and that is, I'm going to do it my way.
It's a diamond jubilee. If you haven't been to my concerts, I'm known for my gown, selections. We gotta give you a show. It's not just excellence in music, right? And it is 75 years, so we gotta celebrate. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have an audience after 2 years of not doing anything, and musicians doing an amazing job, and the choir coming out for our final piece, Beethoven again. May I bring out our amazing quartet, and we are delighted to have 3 of them, El Camino alumni, who discovered their voices in the classes of the music department. And from there, have finished graduate degrees and having careers that are really impressive. Let me start first with our bass. Dr. Anthony Moreno, please come out. Baritone. Take some time to read his impressive biography, sitting now with the LA Massacre, the LA Opera with tonality, and teaching for us right here at El Camino. Anthony Moreno. Thank you. Our tenor, Christopher Craig, who also went through our program here. Come on out, Chris, singing with the LA Opera and making his career as a soloist, a tenor, and singing also with my group. I'm so proud of you, Chris. Lisbeth Sanchez Montenegro is our contralto, mezzo-soprano. Come on out, Lisbeth. Lisbeth found her journey at El Camino, went on to finish a master's at Cal State Northridge. Christopher went on to San Francisco Conservatory. Anthony from Long Beach to USC with a master's and a doctorate. So, I'm a virgin too. And then, we are always delighted to have among us diva Erin Wood as our soprano. Come on out, Erin. Our also faculty member here, teaching for the applied program, but have had a significant opera career, and we're so delighted to have all 4 of them giving you a taste of segments of that last movement of Beethoven's Ninth. Please take a seat for a minute. I really wanted to take a minute and read for you, in the words of Beethoven himself, what it has meant for him to actually create that ninth. And I am hoping to find those words. Here they are. I know so many of you probably have taken classes in music appreciation, but maybe have not had the chance to hear his letter that he wrote when he got so, what shall I say, lost all hope and could not take it anymore. So let me read those words. Though born with a passionate and sociable temperament, I was soon obliged to seclude myself and live in solitude. When I tried to ignore my infirmity, it became worse. Yet I could not bring myself to say to people, "Speak out, shout, for I am deaf." Alas, how could I possibly refer to the impairing of a sense which should be more perfectly developed in me than in others, a sense which was once perfect? Oh, I cannot do it, so forgive me if I withdraw from you. My pain is double because it makes people misjudge me. But I cannot relax with others, nor even enjoy conversations or mutual confidences. I must live alone, coming out only when necessity demands. When I'm with others, I am filled with burning anxiety that they will notice my condition. How humiliating, when someone standing beside me has heard a flute playing and I heard nothing. I have been considering suicide, but my art has held me back. For indeed, how could I die before I have composed all the music I feel inside? Now I realize I must be patient. Oh, my fellow men, when someday you read this, remember that you have done me wrong. Let me take comfort from the thought that there may be some other unfortunate person who has been through this. And through these obstacles imposed by nature, will be able to really understand what I'm going through, and to be in the ranks of noble artists and human beings. I will rise above it all. What do you think? These are his words. Rising through these difficult obstacles to leave behind music that we treasure in 2022. He thought that his birthday was 1772, but it was 1770. He argued about that, but you can understand they don't always have accurate dates. So we are actually celebrating in his desire, his 250th anniversary tonight, 1772, 2022. I want to please Beethoven. I don't want him to be decomposing. Oh, yeah, I make these dry jokes, I'm sorry. But I do want you to know the piece we're about to perform, that last movement is called the Choral Symphony, because symphonies were not written for voices or instruments, but he decided that it would be the most powerful instrument to include the human voice. And so he took Schiller's poem that he appreciated, Ode to Joy, about brotherhood of man, about hope, about humanity living in harmony. And don't we all understand how our fortune has been the last 2 years of being separated from each other? Now we can be in the same place, celebrating, humans sitting next to each other, brotherhood of man, being together in the same hall. That's the hope that this piece gives us, and that's what I want you to leave with. So here we go with highlights from Beethoven's 9th Finale. Not the whole thing, it's 35 minutes long. the choir are going to sing, and I wanted to tell you we can prepare them to be opera soloists, be in the classical realm, but we can prepare them to be in the commercial realm, singing internationally in the music industry. So over the years, we've had some incredible students who have come through our classes, through the applied program, sang classical music, but then took what they've learned and have used it in ways that are really more in the popular realm. So I have invited the American Idol winner, Chikizi, from season 7, number 10, was our El Camino student. So he is going to come out and sing with us. Sam Tejada from the applied program was here in this program and now has a solo career and doing amazing things, has been on X Factor, The Voice, American Idol, and Sherdale Smith, international artist also who went through the program. So I'm going to invite the 3 gospel tenors, that's what I call them, to come out. We're going to sing for you this beautiful piece called City, called Heaven. And you're going to hear their incredible voices and their talent, and the choir is going to support them. Barbie Scales at the piano, and we're going to take you on this beautiful gospel journey. And if you want to hear more, I'll tell you about that later. Royal National Singers will be giving a gospel concert. You better find me and pick up a ticket in the hallway. Well, I just want to take this last moment to invite back all that have made this event possible. I walked into a conducting class in 1977, El Camino College, music department. Young 18-year-old from Lebanon. And I wanted, as a kid, to really explore conducting, but I never saw any woman doing it. So when we came here because of the war, and I saw the conducting class, I walked in, and that song was the national anthem, and I stood to conduct it, and that teacher interrupted me and said, "What are you doing here, and who are you?" I was so scared. She said, "Don't look perplexed." I said, "What is that?" And she said, "Young lady, you have a talent, a natural talent to be a conductor." I never imagined that I would be coming back here to have her job and sit at her desk and carry her legacy for the last 26 years. Dr. Fallow, President Fallow, are you still around, past President Fallow? It was you who hired me. And I could have never imagined I'd be the one standing here creating the 75th anniversary, because I was discovered in a music class as this young Lebanese immigrant, first-generation college student. Didn't ever think I would have that future, and here I am, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in America and for the opportunity this land gives us. And let me tell you, I would like all of you to consider this as your college, for your kids to come here, for you to pick up a class or two. This is your college. Let it be your first choice. It's the place where they can find their purpose, follow their passion, and have pride in their accomplishments. And come back, and in 25 years, another person is going to do this, hopefully one of my students, who will carry that and create the 100th anniversary of El Camino, because we are together unstoppable. This is our motto. So let me bring them all out here. Our quartet, our trio, Dr. Teeter, come on out. I want to bring out my colleague, conductor of the women's chorus, Soyeon Kang. Dr. Ekremis is not well, he's the conductor of the chorus Sugar Chorale. I'm going to bring up Rick Christopherson, the director for the Center for the Arts. I'd like to bring up the executive director of the marketing and communication department, Anne O'Brien. I told you, you better be up here. I need you up here. Norman, we can't bring you up because you are filming us, and we thank you for all your heavy work. Jerry Root, get out here with your team. None of this would have ever happened. Come on up, Shabelle, Chikizi, Sam, and let's bring out our pianist, Ishul Klo. Our Dean of Fine Arts, Berkeley Price. I need you up here. I know you don't want to walk up there, but I would like to acknowledge all of us, because it took a team to make this happen. And I want to say publicly, President Thames, thank you for your support. Without you, we couldn't have done this. You are the wind beneath our wings. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and have a wonderful, wonderful summer. See you in the class or two. Let's think loud. And listen, one section at a time. Let's give a round of applause to the horns. To the flutes, to the clarinets, the bassoons, the oboes, oh boy, orchestra class, the youth orchestra at 13, then into the children's choir, then came back. She's been my wonderful assistant. I couldn't have done this year without her. And she is leaving California to move to Georgia. So Georgia will be on my mind with Jennifer in it. Jennifer, get out here. You are going to take it over. This is from us. This is her last concert. We're going to miss her, but we know she's going to make a difference in Georgia. So, good night, everybody, and thank you again for coming. Come back.